It's a Thursday night, the air is still, and the streets are eerily quiet, with only the occasional rustle of leaves breaking the silence. May 14th, 2008, the clock strikes 2 a.m., marking the beginning of a night that will change lives forever. Brandon Swanson, a 19-year-old from Marshall, Minnesota, is driving home. The road is dark and winding, with only his headlights cutting through the night. He's finishing his freshman year of college. He's excited for summer. The anticipation of warm days and freedom fills his thoughts as he drives. But Brandon never makes it home. The journey that should have been routine takes a tragic turn. Around 2 a.m., his parents, Annette and Brian Swanson, wake to their phone ringing. It's Brandon. The sound of the phone pierces the quiet of their home, jolting them awake. His voice is high-pitched, frantic. He's disoriented. The fear in his voice is palpable, sending chills down their spines. He tells them he's crashed his car. The words come out in a rush, each one tinged with panic. "Dad," Brandon says, "I'm in a ditch." The desperation in his voice is unmistakable. "I don't know where I am." The uncertainty in his words is haunting, leaving his parents feeling helpless. This phone call, filled with fear and confusion, is the last anyone hears from Brandon Swanson. The silence that follows is deafening, leaving a void that will never be filled. Annette and Brian try calling him back, but there's no answer. Each unanswered call deepens their dread. They contact the police, hoping for help. The officers begin a search, but the darkness and rural landscape make it difficult. A search party is formed, combing the area with flashlights and calling out Brandon's name. Search dogs are brought in, but they find no trace. Annette and Brian retrace Brandon's route, trying to piece together where he might have gone. The map becomes a maze of possibilities. As dawn breaks, the search continues, but hope begins to wane. The empty roads and fields offer no clues. The pain of not knowing where their son is becomes unbearable. Each passing hour feels like an eternity. The community rallies around the Swansons, putting up missing person posters and organizing more searches. The support is overwhelming, but it doesn't bring Brandon back. The story makes headlines, and the media coverage brings more attention to Brandon's disappearance. But despite the widespread awareness, there are no leads. Annette and Brian hold on to hope, but the uncertainty is a heavy burden. They cling to memories of their son, praying for his safe return. The days turn into weeks, and the weeks into months. The search for Brandon continues, but the answers remain elusive. The night he disappeared is a haunting memory, a reminder of the fragility of life. The community holds vigils, lighting candles and sharing stories of Brandon. The support is a beacon of hope in the darkness. Annette and Brian often look up at the night sky, wondering where their son is. The stars offer a small comfort, a reminder that he is out there somewhere. The search for Brandon Swanson is a story of love, hope, and the unbreakable bond of family. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of light. Imagine southwestern Minnesota, flat farmland, vast fields of corn and soybeans stretching to the horizon. Small towns dot the landscape miles apart. This is where Brandon grew up, where he was driving that night. The landscape can be disorienting. Roads stretch for miles, identical stretches of asphalt. It's easy to get turned around, especially in the dark. Brandon had been celebrating the end of the semester with friends in Canby, a town about 30 miles from his home in Marshall. The air was filled with the excitement of young adults who had just completed another chapter of their academic lives. The streets of Canby were alive with the sounds of laughter, music, and the clinking of glasses as friends toasted to their achievements and the upcoming summer break. It was a typical Thursday night for a college student, filled with laughter and the promise of summer break. The group had gathered at their favorite local hangout, a cozy bar that had become a second home over the years. They reminisced about the past semester, shared stories of their adventures, and made plans for the summer. The camaraderie was palpable, and for a few hours the stress of exams and deadlines melted away. Leaving his friends around midnight, Brandon started the familiar drive home. The night was calm and the sky was clear, dotted with stars that seemed to guide his way. He rolled down the windows, letting the cool night air fill the car, and turned up the radio, singing along to his favorite songs. The The drive from Canby to Marshall was one he had made countless times, and he knew every twist and turn of the road. He knew these roads, had traveled them countless times. Each mile brought back memories of late-night drives, deep conversations with friends, and moments of solitude where he found peace in the quiet countryside. The rural landscape, with its open fields and occasional farmhouses, was a comforting sight, a reminder of home and the simplicity of small-town life. But tonight, something would go terribly wrong. As Brandon drove deeper into the night, a sense of unease began to creep in. The familiar roads seemed to take on an eerie quality, and the once comforting darkness now felt oppressive. The headlights of his car cut through the night, illuminating the empty road ahead, but the feeling of dread persisted. Little did he know this drive would change everything. Somewhere along the gravel roads outside of Lind, Minnesota, Brandon's car hit a ditch. It wasn't a bad accident, no serious damage to the car. But Brandon was turned around, disoriented. He called his parents. "I'm by the Lind water tower," he told them. But when his dad, Brian, drove to the Lind water tower, Brandon wasn't there. Brandon Swanson knew his son. He knew Brandon wasn't the type to panic easily. Something was wrong. Deeply worried, Brian stayed on the phone with Brandon, trying to understand where he was. "Stay put," Brian told his son. "I'm coming to get you." For over an hour, father and son stayed on the phone. Brandon was walking, trying to find his bearings. He described his surroundings: a gravel road, a nearby field. He could hear water running. At one point, Brandon said he could see lights in the distance. Hope flickered. Was he nearing a town, a farmhouse? As Brian searched, fear gnawed at him. His son's voice was getting more and more frantic. Frustration crept into Brandon's tone. He didn't understand why his dad couldn't find him. Brian tried to keep Brandon calm, but he could hear the panic rising in his son's voice. It was a race against time, against the dwindling battery life of Brandon's phone. Section 8. The car in the ditch. Around 3 in the morning, the call dropped. Brian, frantic, kept calling Brandon's number. No answer. The silence was deafening. The next morning, searchers made a chilling discovery. Brandon's car was found not by the Lind water tower, but in a ditch near Taunton, a small town about 10 miles away. The car was fine, but Brandon was gone. Section 9. Unanswered questions. How did Brandon's car end up in Taunton when he thought he was by Lind? Why did he leave his car if it wasn't badly damaged? Where did he go in those final moments before the call dropped? These questions haunted Brandon's family and investigators. How could a young man vanish without a trace on a seemingly ordinary night? Section 10. Theories and speculations. Theories abound about what happened to Brandon. Some believe he wandered into the darkness, disoriented and confused, succumbing to the elements. Others suspect foul play, though there's no evidence to support it. Could he have been the victim of a hit and run? Did he encounter someone on that lonely road? Or did he simply lose his way, his disappearance a tragic accident? Section 11. A lasting mystery. In the quiet, shadowy corners of our world, mysteries often linger, refusing to be forgotten. They haunt the edges of our consciousness, reminding us of the fragility of our existence. Years have passed, but Brandon Swanson remains missing. His story is one that has left an indelible mark on the hearts of those who knew him and even those who didn't. The pain of his absence is felt deeply by his family and friends, who continue to search for answers in the face of an unyielding silence. His disappearance is a chilling reminder of how quickly life can change, how in an instant the familiar can become the unknown. The clock ticks on, each second a stark reminder of the time that has passed without any resolution. The worry etched on the faces of those left behind speaks volumes about the impact of his sudden vanishing. How easily someone can vanish. One moment a person is there, living their life, and the next they are gone, leaving behind only questions and heartache. The empty landscapes and abandoned places serve as silent witnesses to the mystery that continues to baffle everyone involved. The case remains open, a haunting puzzle with missing pieces. Detectives and investigators pore over the details, hoping to find that one clue that will unravel the truth. The corkboard filled with notes and photos is a testament to their relentless pursuit of answers, even as the nights grow longer and the trail grows colder. The mystery of what happened to Brandon Swanson on that lonely road continues to captivate and confound. Search parties have scoured the area, flashlights cutting through the dusk, but to no avail. The solitary figure walking down the dark road is a poignant symbol of the isolation and uncertainty that surrounds this case. A stark reminder of the unknown that lurks just beyond our sight. The shadowy figures and foggy landscapes are metaphors for the elusive truth that remains just out of reach. As we look into the darkness, we are reminded of the mysteries that lie in wait, challenging our understanding and testing our resolve. The story of Brandon Swanson is a lasting mystery, one that continues to echo through the years, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown